Hello.
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 Okay, I'm turning up. I had the volume up, full volume. Okay. Hello, how are you? I hope you're fine. And let me get rid of this and put all this stuff on. Okay. Here we are again. Gosh, the week is from one Thursday to the next Thursday. All the days in the middle is so quick. Very disconcerting, very disconcerting. But the weather is nice, and my flowers are blooming, covered in insects, but blooming. And so I'm fighting against all these insects on my roses and throwing poison around. Let's see what happens. But I got very, very nice flowers. I'm very, very pleased. I have oh, thank you, Nicoletta. I have, do you know Lily of the Valley? They have a lovely, lovely scent, but lovely perfume. The Valley, Lily. Lily of the Valley, I think they're not Bucaneve, no, they're different. I can't remember. The smell is, they're small, they're little bells, Muggetti, very good. Oh, the perfume is, mine are pink. And, oh, that's the, I can smell them from, I go out from the kitchen and they have a big terrace, but I can smell them immediately and they're at the bottom of the terrace. Really, really nice. So this evening, talking about serious stuff, I was half thinking, we could, if you feel like it, finish number 8 with false friends. Okay, then we could decide whether to watch. Start the video, the metaphors. The exercise is very long. Okay, so the best thing probably is watch the video. And then bit by bit, we do the vocabulary, the pronunciation, name it, and etc. And then we have our heroes and villains, which is always very resourceful. Thank God for the heroes and villains, because I find it entertaining. And the language they use is very good for students. It's not, the usual language you find in books, definitely. Is more the language you might find if you talk to a mother tongue speaker or if you read something. And so at your level is very important. So let's start with the scholars. I'm going to open a few things if I can. And one, yeah, and this one. All right, and I'm going to share now. Oh no, I forgot one thing. This one. Okay, managed. All right. So now scholars. We can get rid of this. Yeah. Right. Can you, let me just see if you can see it. I can make it bigger. Okay. Can you see it? You see la stampa. Oh my God, let me see what we've done here. Okay. Let's try again. Haha. No one wants to see la stampa. Okay, now you should be able to see it. Okay. Is it good now? Good. Right. So, false friends. False friends, again, let's not forget that the language, we all know about the origin of the language. We all know about the French and the Romans and etc. What happened? What happened was this kind of well, if you think about it, I was telling you last time, the Italians are doing the same thing now with the English. They're sort of absorbing words. Certain words are absorbed and they keep the meaning, one meaning. Other words, I don't know why, they they're changed. Or what another thing which can happen is in the original language the meaning changes with time, while in the language, in this case English, absorbing and borrowing the word, the meaning is stuck to the moment when it was borrowed, or vice versa. So we have words like, for example, vile. Vile in Italian, the idea is vile, okay, because if you read it, it's like that. But what's the meaning of vile in English? If you find something which is vile, is it spineless, coward, horrible, or dreadful? So definitely horrible. Okay. Which is a synonym of, I mean, what's the difference between something horrible and something dreadful? Ugly pig. Dreadful and horrible are more or less the same meaning. Vile means something really horrible. You can talk about even food. Oh, that was vile meal, horrible, dreadful, disgusting. Definitely nothing to do with coward and nothing to do with spineless. Spineless is when you're a coward. In Italian, you say without spina dorsale, something like that. Okay, and so bile in English doesn't refer to that. If you want to say vile, you can say a coward. You can talk about a despicable person. Wait. I'll write it down here. Vile italiano. Translated into English, you can talk about despicable, coward, this kind of stuff. But vile in English, you remember, it's something which is horrible, really dreadful, even disgusting. Okay, I'll put it here, horrible, disgusting. Okay. Let's go down to the second one. If something is tremendous, is it wonderful, awful, great, or terrible? Very good. Yes. It's definitely wonderful. And it's also great. Okay, tremendous means something. That was tremendous news. Means fantastic. You're very pleased. You're very happy. While in Italian, tremendo. How do you say tremendo? Uh, so tremendo, translated into English, dreadful, very good, terrible, dire. Uh, dire, um, dreadful, terrible, something, yeah, terrible. So this is tremendo in Italian. Topsy daisy. Yes, terrific, tremendous, yes. They're very similar. You will say, that's a terrific dress. You can say something terrific probably when you look at something and say, oh, wow, that's really terrific, fantastic, beautiful, tremendous. Yeah, you can say that that's synonyms. Yeah, I would say synonyms. True and terrible. Okay. And then we have scalpel. What's a scalpel? Is it a hand tool used to shape wood, stone, or metal? Is it a small, sharp knife used by surgeons in medical operation, or is it a knife with a long blade used for carving cooked meat into slices? Um, well, a scalpel, usually you give it to a doctor. Um, um, so it's definitely not a. It's not a hand tool used to shape wood, stone, and etc. Uno scalpello is a chisel. I'll put it here. What you would say in Italian, equal scalpello. Okay. But it's a lancet. What you mean by that? Nicoletta? A sharp knife. Oh, well, there are various names for sharp knives. Usually, a surgeon uses a scalpel when performing an operation, while, for example, uh, other very sharp knife with very kind of pointy could be lancet. A bisturi is more this one. Bisturi. Okay. But in English, the bisturi is called scalpel. This, while scalpello italiano is called chisel. Okay, that's what you use for stone and etc. This one, I would call it a carving knife. Carving knife. So you can carve in knives, the one you use for meat. Scalpel, if you are a surgeon. Chisel, if you're an artist. Okay, more or less. Then someone has got the volume on, I think, because I can hear some background noise. Okay. Yeah. So rumor. What's rumor? Rumor, is it a noise? Is it, for example, hearsay? Is it evidence or is it racket? Yeah. Rumor is something, what people say about a sort of gossip, we can even call it, um, more or less what again, hearsay, what people say and you hear and you repeat, is definitely not noise. Rumore is noise. Is definitely not evidence. But do you know what a racket is? Yeah, racket, it's a lot of noise. If you hear something, a lot of noise and etc., say, what's this racket? Very loud and a lot. So rumore in italiano could be noise, could be, if it's a lot, fracasso is racket. Evidence sono le prove, okay? Then you had a puncture. What's puncture? Is it a sting? Is it an injection, an insect bite, or a hole in a tire? Okay, it's a hole in the tire. If you have a puncture, you have a flat tire. I'll just put it here. So if you equal the result flat tire. Okay. A puncture is that. Is not a sting, is not an insect bite, and is not an injection. Sting come from animals. So in Italian, let me see. If you say puntura, a sting usually is. I'll put it here. Okay, you get stings. Stings. Which insect sting? Exactly, bees sting. And what about biting? And mosquitoes, what do mosquitoes do? Yes, they bite. No. Bite. And for an injection, you can get, you can call it a shot or a jab. So you have injection, shot, a jab, flu jab, when you have a vaccine or something. And then, let me think, an insect bite, an injection. I had some notes. Oh, yes. If something pricks, okay, needles prick, okay, and so you see, while a puncture is just a hole in a tire, it's a small puncture in a tire, okay, and you lose air and etc. And then we have our preservative. Preservative, a chemical that prevents things from decaying. A condom, chemical liquid that destroys bacteria or a pollutant. It is. It's a condom. No, sorry. It's a chemical, sorry, A. It's this one. Preservatives, remember, I don't know whether I told you, when my daughter was small, they still remember me. I went to a shop there was a little latteria down the road. Now, thank God, it's closed and they've forgotten about me. And I walked in all proud with my child saying, vorrei uno yogurt senza preservativi. And they looked at me and they didn't know what to say to me. Because of course I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, and preservative in English sono I conservanti, okay? So is a chemical that prevents things from decaying. Conservante. So I wanted some yogurt for my daughter without preservative. I preservativi in inglese si chiamano condom. Okay, so you see the language can be extremely confusing when it comes to this. So it's only chemical liquid that destroys bacteria. I wouldn't call it a preservative, because if it destroys bacteria, you see, there is the destruction. While here is a preservative is prevention, okay? Nothing, just keeps things from rotting. Conservano, per cui le tolgono il pericolo di andare a male. Okay, a chemical liquid that destroys bacteria, I wouldn't call it a preservative. I would probably call it, I don't know, bleach or disinfectant. Yeah, definitely disinfectant. Okay, pollutant, you all know what it is. So remember, preservative is a chemical. This is another one which the Italian always get wrong. Nervous. If you're nervous, are you irritable? Are you apprehensive? Are you angry? Or are you worried? Yeah. You're sort of apprehensive. You're worried about stuff. So I would say exactly. You're nervous, for example, before an exam, before a test, before an operation. You know, say, "Oh my God, I'm really nervous." You're not necessarily irritable. Nervoso. You can say short-tempered. Short-tempered when you have you can say tense. Tensed up. What else? Edgy. What? Gosh. Edgy. What else? Highly strung. This is nervoso. You can have a nervous breakdown, and but that's different. So remember, if you're nervous, not necessarily you are irritable. Do you know what hangry is? Okay, it's a portmanteau. Look at the way it's spelled. Hungry plus angry It's a blend word, equal hungry. It's a nice word. It's a mixture when you are so hungry that you get really angry. Okay, so you are starving, and you get really, really, really angry, and you can say that you're hungry. It's a newish word. It's a blend. Sei arrabbiato dalla fame. Very good. And then we're down to, let me see if I told you everything. Yes, yeah. What about morbid? Obsessed with death, disease, gruesome, macabre, soft, not hard or firm, smooth and pleasant to touch. So, yeah, morbid, it's something always to do with death, disease, and therefore is also gruesome, macabre. Il gusto del macabro, that's very morbid. Okay. In Italian, morbido means soft, means morbido, smooth. So, morbido equal soft and smooth. Okay, nice and pleasant to the touch, and etc. While morbid is a sort of you can have your taste can be extremely morbid when you like. My understanding was that morbid corresponds to more, also morboso, because. Could be when you so I think morboso in Italiano could be that un gusti morboso, because you do like, even in Italian, if it's something is morboso, it's something to do with liking death, liking disease, or interested in disease and this kind of not particularly nice things. Yeah, I think morboso. Morboso. Let me see in Italian exactly. Okay. Morboso. I would say morboso. Definizione. So, morboso, malsano, patologico, eccessivo, sia in ambito medico, connesso a una malattia, disease, yeah, sia in senso attenzioni abnormi, sproporzionate. Maybe in Italian is a bit curiosità morbosa. Yeah, but it could be morbid. Yeah, I think it does. Morbid definition, because morbid is to say abnormal and unhealthy interest in unpleasant subject like death, disease, or things relating to sickness, gloomy, gruesome, macabre fascination is ghastly, unhealthy. It's curiosity could be a bit morbid. Maybe in English, Italian is a bit more, morboso is a bit more kind of wide meaning. But I think I would translate morboso with morbid. What about lurid? Is it disgustingly dirty, shockingly graphic, or unwashed, or too bright in color? ND. Very good. It is. Nothing to do with the sporco, okay? For example, sometimes you find some articles in newspapers which are shockingly, the description is too much. The details are kind of a bit revolting, and that could be described as lurid. Or colors which are too bright, kind of elettrici, this kind of vivid, too much. They kind of they hit the eyes. Sgargianti, yes, sgargianti, not particularly nice, a bit vulgar. Okay, while lurido is dirty, filthy, grubby, mucky. So lurido, filthy, dirty. This is good for children, a bit grubby, grubby fingers. If the color is very, Federica, if the color is lurid. Otherwise, but lurid is associated with colors. So if the dress is this kind of un colore un po' troppo sgargiante, I would describe it as lurid color. Or some news, an article in a newspaper. So this is filthy, dirty, grubby, mucky. This is all very, very dirty, unwashed, okay, or disgustingly dirty. And we have number 10, convenient. Is convenient cheap, near, suitable, or affordable? Very good, very good. Yes. It's near and is also suitable. For example, I live near the station, okay? So my flat is very convenient for buses and shops because it's near. It's just cross the road and I get the station, so buses, the underground, whatever. Or I could say to you, would 5 o'clock be convenient for you? Suitable. So you see, it has two meanings. You're organizing a meeting or something and you want to know whether the time or whatever the place, would that be suitable for you? Would that be convenient for you? So suitable and convenient can be, with this meaning, they are synonyms. Conveniente. Conveniente is affordable. I would say cheap. Adatto, very good, yes. While in Italian you say conveniente, conveniente is good value. Cheap, affordable. Reasonable. You see, something conveniente. Remember the meaning, not expensive, inconveniente. And then, quindi economico, conveniente. Well, economical, always the meaning of economical means that it's cheap to run. For example, if you buy a car and it's economical, means that doesn't consume too much petrol or whatever it runs on. Okay, so it's cheap to run. That's economical, the kind of a synonym for economical. So yes, not expensive. But remember, you wouldn't say, oh, well, I bought a new dress and the dress is economical, because economical, that doesn't mean economico vuol dire che non consuma tanto, è poco costoso da gestire, ok? While something cheap, something good value, affordable or reasonable, if, for example, you buy a new dress, oh, that was good value, it was affordable, you had the money, the price was reasonable, but you wouldn't say economical. Does it make sense? I hope. Okay. Now we have romance. A romance, is it a love affair or a theory novel or a debut novel or a saga? Romance, I would call it a love affair. You wouldn't refer to a novel, un romanzo, in italiano. Romanzo viene tradotto, it's a book, and you buy a novel, okay? So romanzo in italiano, novel, I would say. Romanzo equal novel. Ma for example, una storia d'amore is a romance. Tiri novo è una strappalacrime, una roba di questo genere. So romance is a love affair. And do you know what a bromance is? You probably we've done it. Where is another blend word. Blend word is brother plus romance. Nothing to do with sort of, it's not sexual, it's just when two men being extremely friendly and getting on, friendship, they have a bromance, okay, that's what you call it, but it's just friendship. Okay. And then we got number 12. Number 12, let's see, abusive. What is it? Is it insulting and offensive? Is it indulgent, illegal, or cruel? Okay. So it's definitely insulting and offensive. Okay. Let me see. And it's definitely cruel. An abusive person can be cruel, can be terrible, can make you suffer. So there is cruelty. Something abusive, you can, if you, for example, your language can be abusive and can be offensive and insulting. Nothing to do with indulgent and nothing to do with illegal or unlicensed. It can be illegal, being abusive, depends on the extent of the abuse, okay? You can use abusive words and nothing happens. If you go over a certain limit, then it can become illegal. But abusivo in italiano, abusivo is illegal, unlicensed. Is this one? Is abusivo. I've got the correct abusivo. Is illegal and unlicensed, or without authorization. Un venditore abusivo is an illegal seller, or unlicensed, or without a license, or someone operating without a license. Abusive è più di crudeltà, di offensivo, di I don't think you use it. Yeah, offensivo, insultante, crudele. Okay. Indulgent. If you indulge, indulgent. Well, for example, if you are making a cake, okay, and you find a recipe, you might find an indulgent cake. Indulgent chocolate cake. Indulgent, the meaning is more, I wouldn't call it oltraggioso. I would call it, let me think. It's because you basically say yes to whatever you have a desire and you say, yes, okay, I will indulge. Indulgent definition. You see, someone is permissive, willing to allow someone to have or do whatever they want, even yourself. Okay, so the indulgent cake, extremely tolerant. You can talk about indulgent parents, for example, permissivi, and an indulgent dessert, even an indulgent smile. With dessert is because you say yes to whatever you feel like having. Masses of chocolate, usually an indulgent chocolate cake is covered in chocolate, and basically, I know what you mean by oltraggioso. Can be oltraggioso, okay, but in indulgente, you say yes to whatever the request is, including request, you want something, yes, I'm going to be very indulgent with yourself, okay, and that's indulgent. Condiscendente, permissivo. Don't forget the cake. The cake is a sort of a celebration of, your cholesterol goes up to 500 or something. But why chocolate cake is cruel? Never, never. A chocolate cake is indulgent. Is good. Then we had the last one, extravagant. If you are a bit extravagant, something extravagant, is it eccentric? Is it bizarre, odd? Is it unconventional or excessive? The best one is the excessive. For example, I'm being a bit extravagant, and you go to a restaurant and you go to, well, if you feel a bit extravagant, you go to a Michelin star restaurant because you spend a lot of money. It's excessive, extravagant, the real meaning. Nothing to do with being eccentric. That's a bit extravagant. For example, you go out and buy something instead of going to the market. You go to Italy and you spend a fortune. That was a bit extravagant. Un po' eccessivo, ok? Fuori dalla routine normale, ok? That's the extravagant. Stravagante instead, in Italiano, stravagante is eccentric. Eccentric, bizarre, odd, unconventional. Yes, someone is a person is a bit eccentric, bit different to normal people. Stravagante. Ma stravagante vuol dire eccessivo. Careful with this one. So if you say that something is extravagant, it's a bit excessive. It's a bit too much. A bit extravagant. While se stravagante, bizzarro, strano, then is eccentric, bizarre, odd, unconventional. Okay? So be careful with these false friends. I hope everything is yellow. So let me see if I can find other words for stravagante. Eccentric. Then I'll send them to you. Bizarre and odd, and even unconventional. Okay. So careful with false friends, because you see that again, they're so similar to the Italian that you tend to you get confused, especially if you're swapping the language. You go from one language to the other, and for example, you're talking to some Italians, and then you have to translate or do something quickly into English. Temptation is there, and mistakes can be made. Okay, so I hope everything is clear. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the list of the English terms with their meaning, and then the list of the literal translation with the translation into English. Okay, is it everything clear? Good. Right. So what we could do now, if you feel like it, I just show you the video, because then what you the video about metaphors, we could just watch the video. It's 3 minutes. So I sent you I think, yeah, I send you all the questions I have already and the tape script. So you can have a look and start working on it. So next time we can start doing the exercises. Okay, listen to this man and then you tell me. And I think I've already opened it. No, this is colors. Let me close this one. Okay. All right. Okay. Just, put your feet up, as they say, and watch it. Pay attention to the accent. Why not? And then you tell me where the man is from. Okay? Just tell me whether you can hear it.
Breaking the ice. A thorny issue. Life's.
Is it loud enough? Okay, good.
Breaking the ice. A thorny issue. Life's rich tapestry. Our everyday speech is littered with metaphors. See what we did there? Or, as the poet Paul Muldoon put it, the impulse to find the likeness between unlike things is very basic to us. But metaphors aren't just for poets. They shape our beliefs, attitudes, and actions in ways we don't even realize. So what exactly is a metaphor? At its simplest, a metaphor is X equals Y. Sometimes it's stated explicitly. Every day is a winding road. But more often, metaphors are harder to unpick. Take the end of The Great Gatsby. We beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past. On first glance, we're talking about rowers fighting the pull of the current. But the image is mixed up with time, the past, the power of nostalgia. Many think the best metaphors bring colour and meaning to the everyday. Author James Geary says that by mixing the foreign with the familiar, the marvellous with the mundane, metaphors make the world sting and tingle. But not everyone is a fan. Philosopher Thomas Hobbes compared the use of metaphors to wandering amongst innumerable absurdities, which is, of course, a metaphor. If we're trying to express anything abstract, metaphors are hard to avoid. Take heartbreak. Imagine your friend is going through a breakup. They're probably a complete mess, beside themselves, consumed by jealousy, or perhaps they're bottling up their feelings. Some metaphors have become so familiar, they almost feel literal. Think about time again. There's the tired old metaphor, time is money. I hope you spend today profitably. Thanks for being so generous with your time. What does it say about our society that we equate time and money like this? But dig a little deeper and you'll see even the way we think about time is metaphorical. We move through it, travellers on a path, with the future up ahead and the past behind us. The American linguist George Lakoff called these orientational metaphors. Take the idea of up and down. He's at the peak of health. He fell ill. She's on top of the situation. He's under my control. She was able to rise above her emotions. He dragged the conversation down to his level. Lakoff also helped develop the idea of political framing. The words we choose affect how we perceive and deal with social issues, and help decide what becomes publicly accepted, common sense. And metaphors play a huge role in that. We often talk about the battle or fight against cancer, but a 2019 study suggests military metaphors like this could actually undermine cancer treatment, make people feel fatalistic about their chances, and even put implicit blame on those who don't survive. Crime is another area full of metaphor. We have
How do you find it quite easy to understand? Too fast, so next time maybe I can slow it down? What do you think? Slower, faster? Is a bit too fast? Okay, so next time when, okay, perfect. It's quite interesting because in a way you use metaphors in Italian, while very often idiomatic expressions, which are so common in English, in English you use idiomatic expression every 5 minutes, while in Italian it's not as idiomatic as English. With metaphors, well, it happens all the time. You talk about crime, you talk about life in general, everyday situation, il tempo denaro, and all this kind of stuff. I think the two languages get a bit closer when it comes to metaphors. So we can just watch the end.
Crime waves, the criminal underworld, crimes committed in cold blood. But what effect might metaphors really have? In 2011, a Stanford study gave one group a pamphlet describing crime as a wild beast preying upon a city. A second group were given a different pamphlet describing crime as a virus plaguing the population. When asked how to tackle the issue, the first group were 20% more likely.
I think Bersani, that kind of, I've seen him. I stopped watching television, but every so often I do watch. I know Bersani. It does, or you can say indulge with his metaphors. You see, you can indulge.
Virus plaguing the population. When asked how to tackle the issue, the first group were 20% more likely to endorse stricter policing than the second. So the metaphors we choose matter, not just for our beliefs, but potentially for our laws, our politics, and our treatment of each other. Lakoff and his co-author Mark Johnson put it like this: the people who get to impose their metaphors on the culture get to define what we consider to be true. Or, to adapt a well-known example, knowledge of metaphors is power.
Okay, so this is to give you the idea of the video. So next time we can start working on it. So I was thinking we have a half an hour. We could do maybe one villain, because this evening I'm pleased you like it. The exercises, there are loads of words and of course loads of metaphors to see whether they can be translated directly into Italian or not. So it's not bad. I'm preparing another two. One is about, I think it's about Chinese, and the other one is about being lucky. I've got, the internet is, well, you can find absolutely anything, and you find so much. So we could do our heroes. Okay. And okay. Okay, that's one of the many things we got to do this evening. We can do a couple of villains, and so we're ready for next time. Again this week we have 3 villains and only 1 hero. Okay, so this is the first, villains. Listen to the recordings, correct the mistakes and or omissions, and then we answer the questions. Okay, just listen to it and then I'll stop so you can give me the correct answers. Okay.
Again this week we have 3 villains and only 1 hero. So to the first villain. The crews of 2 US Army helicopters for taking an unauthorized detour during a training mission in Tennessee to hover outside Kid Rock's mansion, where they were enthusiastically saluted by the MAGA favorite country star. Army chiefs launched an inquiry, but Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth quickly shut it down, saying, "No punishment, no investigation, carry on, patriots."
Okay, so now I'm stopping so you can give me the correct words.
We have 3 villains and only 1 hero. So to the first villain. The crews of 2
Very good. Yes. So I'll go like this. I'll do it in capitals so you can see. Crows, not crows. What are crows? Crows? They're big. Yes, the big ones, the corvi. I merli are blackbirds, while crows are those big ones you see around.
Of 2 US Army helicopters for
Yes, US Army helicopters.
US Army helicopters for taking an unauthorized detour during a training mission.
Very good. It's not agonized, but is unauthorized.
Unauthorized detour during a training mission in Tennessee.
Very good. It's not a mission, it's just a mission.
In Tennessee to hover outside Kid Rock's mansion where they were in.
Okay. Mansion.
Where they were enthusiastically saluted by the MAGA favorite countries.
What? How do you spell it? Okay, good. Okay, saluted by
Enthusiastically saluted by the MAGA favorite country star.
very good. Yes, one missing word. Country star.
Saluted by the MAGA favorite country star. Army chiefs launched an inquiry.
What about this word here? Listen to it again.
Favorite country star.
Very good.
Army chiefs launched an inquiry.
So Pierre got it correctly. Yes, very good. Just in the plural. Army launched an inquiry.
Favorite country star. Army chiefs launched an inquiry, but Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.
Very good. But Secretary.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth quickly shut it down, saying, "No punishment."
Very good. Where is it? Saying. Saying.
Quickly shut it down, saying, "No punishment, no investigation, carry on, patriots."
So, very good. No punishment. and carry on. And so they're considered villains, okay? So Kid Rock is an American musician, singer, rapper, and songwriter, and an outspoken means that he actually says it out loud, supporters of President Donald Trump. Okay. Let's see. The helicopter crews followed their planned route exactly. Is it true or false? It is false. Kid Rock criticized a recent flyover by 2 Army helicopters. Is it true or false? Have you written? Wait a minute. Can I see you? Okay. Is it me not seeing you or it's false? Yeah. Very good. It is false because he was saluting and saying happy. It was quite happy. The pilots have been suspended pending a misconduct investigation. Again, it's false because they were suspended, but after 5 minutes, they basically, there was this announcement, no punishment, no investigation, and etc. The crew's behavior can be best described as disciplined, careless, unauthorized, or dangerous. Yeah. And the response from the authorities, was it strict, dismissive, delayed, or unclear? Yeah, very good. Dismissive. Dismissive is when you don't give any importance to something. So you treat it as sort of minor something, not important. And let's say a little bit of vocabulary. What about a detour? Is it a shortcut, an alternative route, a minor road, or a roundabout? Yeah. Oops. It's not a shortcut. Very often is a sort of makes the road longer than what is supposed to be. A detour, you go, you find an alternative route, and usually when the direct route is blocked or something, there's a detour. Okay. Or for example, you can say, you forgot something you want to buy, you're on the road to go somewhere, and you make a detour, and you go to the shops or to the supermarket. You go off your road and you find another road, and then you go around and you finally find your destination. So it's more an alternative route than a shortcut. Or what's a roundabout? You know, roundabouts? Yes. Those things you in the car, you go round and round. Exactly. Hover means stay still in the air, dry with a hairdryer, stay afloat in an upright position, or remain in one place in the water. Yeah. Remember that it's always in the air. So nothing to go with afloat is water. This remain in one place is water. This for the girls. How you dry with a hair dryer. For example, you go to the hairdresser and you want to explain to the hairdresser that you want to have your hair dry using the hair dryer. What do you call it? It's called a blow dry. So now you can go to the hairdresser. Yeah, I'm just having a blow dry, meaning you have your hair washed and then the hairdresser using the hair dryer. Ok, la messa in piega, I'm not really sure. Con il foam, solo con il foam. Ok, that's a blow dry. A piega d'aria. Okay, that's what you do. You use the hair dryer. What's a mansion? Is it an expensive flat, a warehouse, a penthouse, or a large luxury house? Yeah. Well, you could for you, for example, your flat is a mansion because you love it, etc. But usually, when you talk about a mansion, is a large luxury, is a house, is a detached house. A penthouse is more the top of a block of flats. It can be, un super attico. It can be a mansion when it's extremely full of luxury and etc. But mansion usually refers to a house. Then we have MAGA, refers to an NGO, the Republican Party, a political slogan, a movement, or a public event. Yeah. Make America Great Again. Launch. Launch is you throw something forward, you start or begin something, you delay something, or you set something in motion. Okay. Definitely A. And but also B, why not? Because if you launch something, a project and etc., why not? Definitely not delay, but launch again, also set in motion. So you see, it's more than could be throw something forward to start or begin something, you launch it, or you set something in motion, you launch it, project or something. If you shut something down, make something become quieter, close or stop an activity, or you prevent access, or you keep something in place. Yeah. A business or a shop or can be shut down, or the people decide to shut it down. If you make something to become quieter, you can say hush. Hush, hush, hush. Means it's onomatopoeic, sh, in Italian. Shush, ok? Hush, fare silenzio, ok? So it's not definitely this and not the other. And then our favorite bit. The favorite bit is the pronunciation. These two words, the plural of the group working together, and a sea voyage or steady speed, are they homophones? Very good. Yes, they are. Oops. Yes, cruise and cruise. Identical. If you cruise, something is cruising, steady speed. Steady means regular, constant. Okay, constant. You're just cruising in the car, for example. The speed is always the same. You put the automatic thing, and you kind of you just travel at a steady speed. So you're just cruising, or a sea voyage. The E in this word is pronounced, is it pronounced as in above, E as in ship, E as in sheep, or A as in head? Yeah, it is this one. It's detour. Make it all nice and big and like this. Because detour. And then displays the stress on which syllable. Is it on the first, on the second? Wait, this one should go here. On the second or the third? B, C. Oh gosh. Try to wait.
At Country Star. Army chiefs launched an inquiry, but to hover at the crews of 2 US Army helicopters for taking an unauthorized detour during a training mission in Tennessee. To hover.
What's the stress? Is on C. Very good. You see, if you hear it, you get it correctly. Then the C is this bit here. Okay. And then we have the O in this other word. Is it pronounced as in nose, as in sock, or as in blue? You say hover, as in sock. Okay. Then we have hoover, but it's something different. You know, remember the hoover, but it's spelled like this. That's hoover, but this is hover. Hover when you're up in the air and you sort of you travel in the air and without moving. Okay, so hover. Then we have what does it mean? Because hoover in British English. When you know you vacuum cleaner, use the vacuum cleaner. L'aspirapolvere, vacuum cleaner. The Americans call it vacuum cleaners. The British call it Hoover from the name of the make, Hoover, and Hoover, they make vacuum cleaners. Yes, it's like il folletto. Yeah, but you cannot follettare, io folletto tu folletti. But it more or less is the name has been taken to as an object. I'm buying a new Hoover, or I'm hoovering around as a verb. So it has become a verb and a noun. In British English, not in American English. In American English, is vacuum cleaner. You just hoover. You don't do the hoover. You hoover, or you do the dusting, the cleaning, and etc. Or you can do the hoovering. This MAGA. How do you pronounce it? Maga or mega? Yeah. You've heard it too many times now. And then you have this other word, and inquiry. The stress goes on which syllable? On the first one, on the second one, on the third one. B, 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 and B is. Yes. Again, remember that you can find it inquiry like this, or inquiry like this. There is absolutely no difference in pronunciation. There is no difference in meaning. The spelling with the E, this one is British English. Okay, British English. The other one is American English. That's the big difference between the two. Very often people get confused anyway. Careful with this one. The A in this word, how would you pronounce it? Would you pronounce it patriot? Or would you pronounce it patriot? Or would you pronounce it patriot? Yes, definitely. Patriot. Why not? Let me see. Listen.
Outside Kid Rock's mansion, where they were enthusiastically saluted by the MAGA favourite country star. Army chiefs launched an inquiry, but Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth quickly shut it down, saying, "No punishment, no investigation, carry on, patriots."
Oh, you can pronounce it like this. Why not? You can take your pick. Okay. Patriot or patriot? I think I say patriot. I wouldn't say so. I would say that B is the way I would go for patriot. Patriot. I don't know, maybe the Americans have no idea, but they're both correct. And the little grammar. The cruise took in, up, on, off, up, in, off, on. Careful. An unauthorized detour. Okay, which? Careful. Okay. Took in, up, doesn't mean anything. Took on, off, took up, in, again. Remember, they were on. Definitely on is the correct one. This is because they were on an unauthorized or authorized detour. And so they took off, because to take off means to leave in your helicopter or aeroplane, etc. On an unauthorized detour. So they took off on sort of two different words. Take off means to leave when the plane or the helicopter leaves. And because they were on a detour. Okay. The pilots have been, had, were, have got briefly suspended on Tuesday. Okay, I saw some mistakes, but it's this one. Well, it's on Tuesday. So definitely not have been. definitely not have got. Had is impossible because they had suspended their activities or something, and so the only one is were. So they were suspended on Tuesday. If I cancel on Tuesday, you can say they've been suspended, because I'm not, you see, if I say okay, so the pilots have been briefly suspended. You don't know when, you don't care, you know that at the moment they are that's the only thing you know. You see, if you use the present perfect. But if you put on Tuesday, oh well, very sorry, in English you can only use the past. Clear? Remember, when you use the present perfect, you focus on now. It's a present perfect, è un presente perfetto. So your focus is now, and you look at them and they are suspended. Then in 2 seconds, maybe they can be released. Let's see. This guy, our friend, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, said that there wouldn't be, there would be, it will be, or there would have been. Very good. Yes, it is B. Reported speech is said that, inverted commas, there will be no investigation. Is the negative is already here, so all the others, the negatives are wrong, and so you go back one step and there would be. Now, we got time? No, we haven't got time. Well, what you could do, you can carry on all by yourself. And if you want, next time, if you remind me, we do the difference between, I wanted to do it today, but we haven't got time, between travel, trip, journey, voyage, excursion, and outing. Because there is one exercise which require, okay, so I will remember to do that, because, you know, sometimes they can be very tricky. So next time we can carry on with the metaphors, do the trips and etc., and carry on with the usual. If there is something you want me to explain when it comes to grammar and etc., write an email to me. Okay. Have a lovely evening. Thank you very much. And
Juliana.
Thank you.
see you Thursday.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Nicoletta. Bye. Nicoletta, one thing. Nicoletta, don't go. Come back. Where are you?
Grazie per la pazienza, Dorothy.
Figurati. I know, I'll get Nicoletta somewhere else. She needed some books probably. Bye everybody. Bye. Bye. Bye.